Today's video was sponsored by Squarespace. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kel. I am a graphic designer and my pronouns are they, them, and I know some of my regular followers don't even know that, but I thought I'd actually put that out here on my YouTube channel. And yeah, I'm a graphic designer. I mostly specialize in music branding and merchandise, but I also really enjoy doing regular graphic design branding, and that includes logos. I'm not the biggest fan of logos. They're kind of a challenge. So today we're going to be tackling 3 car logos, and I tried to pick logos that I feel might not be the strongest ones or ones that I might not be the biggest fan of. So today we are going to be covering Ford, Honda, and Nissan, or if you're in the UK, Nissan. I'm going to try a little bit of a different style with some of these logos. I usually go pretty intricate and crazy, but I want to keep these more simplified, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, no long intro on this one. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so starting off with Ford, we're going to read a little bit of some background on Ford so we kind of know what we're doing. So the Ford Motor Company is an American automaker and the world's 5th largest automaker based on worldwide vehicle sales, based in Dearborn, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. The automaker was founded by Henry Ford on June 16th, 1903. Ford Motor Company would go on to become one of the largest and most profitable companies in the world, gross, as well as one of the few to be able to survive the Great Depression, blah blah blah. Ford now encompasses 2 brands, Ford and Lincoln. Ford once owned 5 other luxury brands, Volvo, Land Rover, Jaguar, Aston Martin, and Mercury. Over time, those brands were sold to other companies and Mercury was discontinued, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like a lot of people in the US are taught about Henry Ford and the assembly line, you know, all that jazz. So when I think of Ford, I think of like a more like traditional American US made car. My dad is a big Ford fan. Loves his truck. So hopping over and looking at their logo timeline, there's a lot that I like about the Ford logo, and I don't hate this logo really at all. I think script logos, especially in cars, kind of brings this really beautiful elegance to them. And looking at their old logos, like I really like the 1909 one, and I don't know, maybe we'll lean vaguely in that direction today. But yeah, a lot of cars do the wings. I know Honda did wings, Bentley has wings, all that jazz. Like lots of cars have wings because a lot of automotive companies make other things like plane pieces and motorcycles and other stuff, other motorized things. So I think of Ford as just like a regular American car, and I think that kind of comes through with like a lot of the branding of a very Americanized brand like Ford, kind of like what I talked about in my Campbell Soup video, that the Campbell's logo was based off of the owner's handwriting, and it was created to appeal to the housewife of the day to look like a recipe card. Now I feel the same energy here with the Ford logo. It feels very friendly. I don't hate it at all. So we are gonna stick with a bit of a script with this, but we are gonna break it out, and this is just my general tentative plan right now. Break it out of this oval. I do like the oval, big oval fan over here, but I want to do something a little bit different, and I think I want to tie it back to kind of like what I think of, and I think what a lot of people think of when they think of Ford are their older classic cars like the old Shelby Mustang. So that's kind of the vibe and direction I want to go with. I want to kind of tie back into their racing roots and still work with like a little bit of a script, but we're going to break out of that oval. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have a bunch of ideas like sketched out on here. They don't really make a whole lot of sense, but I was just kind of feeling around what I like, what I think I would enjoy in a logo. So starting with Ford, let's turn on my grid. So if you want to turn on your grid in Illustrator, you hit Command right quote, I think. But this is really great because I like working with grids, especially in a very simplified logo. That's the vibe I like working in. I'm not really going off any inspiration with this. I'm just going off of their current and history of logos and what I know about the company. So again, not a very realistic route to do logos. I know, don't come from me. I'm just having a good time and I want to redesign some car logos. Okay, so I like this F. This F is super fun, but I want to try something a little bit different. One thing I am gonna do really quick is go up to, I believe it's under View, and snap to Grid, which is a really helpful tool if you want to keep things on a very structured basis. I like it sometimes it's really annoying, but a fun feature nonetheless to use if you need it. So I kind of want to create this really fun, kind of like a hooked F versus something that's kind of like your traditional script S. So I'm kind of trying to hook it around. I kind of have a, let me show you my sketch. That's the vibe I'm going for. And I want to keep all of the letters in caps. I know, and still be a script. It's possible. How about we don't make this white? maybe I want to, maybe I want to be able to see it. Call me crazy. Okay, so this is also just gonna be pretty much entirely by hand. So I know this will be a little slow, but stick with me. Ooh, crispy. I love that. It's not perfect, obviously, but you know, it's a fine one for now. Let me pull up a picture of the Ford Shelby Mustang. Oh, we're in all caps, and that's okay. Yeah, it's the 1967 one. Cool. So this is the GT500. Yeah, cool car. Definitely the last cool Mustang. The ones now are so ugly, but this one's cool, very neat. So that's the energy we're going for. I want to create a cool logo that would look cool on those, but also look really nice on their modern like sedans and trucks and stuff. So. And I wanted this to kind of swoop down into this bar down here because I want to emulate the same kind of like racing stripe that a lot of the Mustangs have on the racing stripes on the side. I think those are really cool. Kind of tie into that speed element. I might change the top of the F to kind of mirror that, kind of like, so it looks like that. But we'll see as we go along. So that part of the R is gonna go into the D, but right now let's get it situated right here. I think I want to do a bit of a share on this. Yes, I like that a lot. Maybe I'll cut that off. Is it cut off the original logo? Yeah, it is. I'm even thinking maybe we do a loop. I don't know, it might get too busy. Might be too busy, I don't know, we shall see. So the plan right here is I want this R to be, so the D right here, I want this to connect into that. Okay, so I've worked on both of these logos quite a bit now, and I do not know which one I like better. This is really tough. The R's are different too. I don't know, I'm leaning towards this one because I like how the shape of this feels versus this. I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe it'll change. I don't know. I might play around with it some more, and obviously you guys will see the one that I actually am going with. But man, I'm really torn between those two. Oh well, I guess I will decide, and I will show you guys the final logo, I guess, right here. Alright guys, we are back for day 2. I try to break these up so I don't get too burned out and I can make better work. So we're back on the next day. Today we are doing the Honda logo. Why do I keep doing this? I don't know, I'm going through a thing. Anyway, so actually let's hop over to Honda history. Okay, I did not know Honda was Japanese until I started researching for this video. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't know that, rather. But so Honda is a Japanese public multinational conglomerate corporation, and they primarily manufacture automobiles, motorcycles, and power equipment. So they were founded in Japan 72 years ago. There are 2 founders. Cool. So I'm not gonna do too much research on this end, but I do want to focus on kind of some of the logos that they've had. Honda isn't as big into like classic racing cars like Ford was, but I do think that Honda has a very interesting logo history because there's a lot of things that I like about their old logos that I feel that their current logo just kind of is like, you know, it's that classic 2000s thing where they add that godforsaken bevel effect, and it just I can't stand it at all. There's so many other logos that they have in their history that are way cooler. Like, I think these wings are really cool. I wish they kept some sort of wing element in there, but I can understand it is a pretty tough shape to work with, especially if it's only one wing. You know, I don't hate it. I do like how they use the HM in the little oval. I think that's really cool. This is, you know, probably a logo that I could see them using still today. I don't think it's dated really at all. Maybe the type needs to be updated a little bit, but like, this really like falls flat for me. And then I found this other set of logos online. I think this wide H is really cool, and then they kind of condensed it into this format, which I've seen quite a few times on some older Hondas. And then they kind of fall into what we have today, which is just this bevel kind of H bridge thing. So I think those are fun. I think the history of Honda's logos is, you know, it's pretty good track record. Pretty cool logos in general. So I had this idea. I went through quite a few sketches for Honda because I couldn't really decide what direction I wanted to go, and I ultimately kind of landed on this idea of tying the 2 founders into the logo. So I wanted to play with a way to use 2 elements to make an H. Yeah, that's the idea. And then I had thought about, you know, kind of like rounding out the H to kind of do something like this and then tie the wings in, and then I was like, oh, that's the Bentley logo. Never mind on that. That's why it looked so familiar, and that's why it looks so good. It's because the logo already exists for another luxury brand. So, the idea for this is I want to kind of tie in these little like hook shapes to kind of mimic the kind of, not mimic, but symbolize the 2 founders of Honda, and also kind of add some momentum, some speed to the logo, kind of italicizing it a little bit. And the difficult thing about Honda's logo is that you get really quickly, sorry, I'm dying, into the Hyundai logo. Hyundai. Is that Hyundai? The Hyundai logo is pretty much an italicized version of the Honda logo, and you can see how this could be a little confusing. Let me just pull this into Illustrator. So yeah, you have this italicized version of an H, so it does kind of make it a little bit difficult sometimes. This is hitting. There we go. We're better. The difficulty of this is that this italicized H in this format and this bevel really makes it feel similar, is that like you don't have a lot of flexibility in a standard H format, so I wanted to kind of break out of that a little bit and do a little bit more of an abstract H, if you will. So that's the goal. So looking here at my notes, if you can see them, I had this idea. I wanted to have this kind of like hook shape here and there, and have that bottom piece kind of become that bridge in the Honda logo. and then I want to put it into a taller rectangular format, much like how they used to have it on some of the like older cars like that. I do like that shape a lot more. I think it makes a really nice emblem on the hood of a car. It's very like sleek, elegant, elevated, and I think it's a total 180 from what they have with their current logo, which is this very bulky, boxy, kind of gross logo. I'm just not a big fan of it at all. So this is the direction I want to go. I want to pull a really cool typeface to make the Honda type that'll go underneath it. So that's the idea. I just want to start making this. So I'm feeling a general shape like that, and this will likely change as I go. I'm trying to mimic that same curve that I have right there. Maybe this is a bit too long. Okay, I'm not mad about that, but I would like to try a few different variations of it. So yeah, there's our starting logo. So more of a vague H. We have the two kind of pillars. And I think this is also just a really fun shape to play with. Don't mind the stroke, don't mind any of the formatting right now. I think it's just a really interesting kind of like dissection of shapes. So turning my guides back on. Let's start playing with like some variations of this. Oh, I think that is very fun. What if we bring this out another square? No, it gets too thick. Okay, I definitely think that is more interesting, more of the italicized version. I like how it kind of has these like semi-racing stripes. Duplicate this again. Start playing with our stroke. Those rounded corners definitely make it nice and soft. I do like that. Ooh, we like that. We like that a lot. Okay, I think that is very fun. Now let's merge these. Start playing in here. It's definitely nice. I like that movement in there. I really like that logo. I guess the downside of that being rounded is that you lose that definition in that H. I wonder if we could do a little cutout. I'm torn. I don't know which one I like more. Oh well, let's keep playing with these. Let's hop over to good old Adobe fonts and start pulling some typefaces while I let the rest of that simmer. Okay, so we're at Adobe fonts. Start browsing. Okay, I know go off Adobe fonts. I see some new ones. Ooh, love it. Okay, fun, funky. They're adding more categories. Okay. I do want a sans serif. I wanted a pretty tight width sans serif. Thank you. Now, I have my favorites. I don't want to just go to my favorites. I see you, Miss Alternate Gothic. I do love you. I will open you in a new tab. I am looking for something with a pretty like low contrast, constant width sans serif type. I don't want anything too aggressive. I don't want any pointy A's. I don't like pointy A's. Too tight. Looks rounded. Balboa, goddamn, so good. I love Balboa. In my head, I'm just reading this as Honda. Oh, it's mental illness in it. I'm not using you, Miss Babus. No. Lee Gothic is a really good one. Lee Gothic over Beebus all day. Any day. Ooh, who are you? Never seen you before. I like that, but not for this. But keeping you in mind. I could filter by contrast over here, but sometimes it doesn't filter it in the best way. Like sometimes I do want something with more contrast versus lower contrast. So I usually stay away from this contrast filter and the weight, because sometimes I like varying weights and I want to be able to see my options. I'm looking more for the structure of the type versus the weight right now. I gotta feel the vibe. 14 pages in. Let's see. What else you got for me, Adobe? Grand Theft Auto ass font. Okay, well, we got 5 right now. So we've got Alternate Gothic. Let's install. Are none of these installed? Oh, I'm not signed in. Okay, now that I'm signed in. I thought I already had this installed. Do I not have Balboa installed? Not in use. Okay, League Gothic, love that. Tandel, I've never heard of this before. Lorimer, I used this on a project a long time ago. So let's go grab our sample. Alternate Gothic, I love you. You're a classic. Balboa, my queen. My God, I love you. So great, Balboa condensed. League Gothic, I am liking you a lot, but we're looking for one that will go with the little working kind of like, I'm thinking of that logo like a little bridge. That's the vibe. Why am I drinking coffee right now? It's 5 o'clock. Let's do our girly alternate Gothic there. Let's do the more condensed. Ooh, oh, so good. Okay, Balboa. We love Balboa. A classic. Ooh, I love how condensed that is.
Who's in the litter box? I knew it was you, Mr. George.
George likes to play in the litter box. Does anyone else's cat like to play in the litter box, or is it just mine? Okay, League Gothic. Okay, I might be a little too condensed. God, what is the difference between these two? A bit. This just looks more stretched. And that, what was the other one? Lorimer. Did you hear George just fling litter all over the office? That's Lorimer. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, Lorimer's going away. All right, so now we are down to these 3. So let's start pairing them up with this. Turn our grid off. I feel like I might need to start playing with the weight a little bit because I feel like the weight is not heavy enough, but you know what? That's okay. Okay, you know what? I don't hate the width on that at all. Maybe it could go down a little bit more. I think that is very fun, but let's, you know what? We're still gonna try some variations. We're gonna play with this a little bit more. What if we push our kerning out a little bit? I mean, maybe we make this the same width of that so it actually like makes a little bit more sense. This is how I measure things in my made-up design world, as I just draw little squares, and that's how I measure my width. There's probably a better way to do this. Okay, so we have that as that width. I'd say it's pretty close to the average width of this. Damn, I did a pretty good job on that. Okay, I see you. Let's outline that. You know, I really like this. I like that it has momentum. I like that it kind of is a more abstract H than your traditional H logos, which are more like square focused, really focusing on that middle bridge being straight. But I think this is really fun. I'm very happy with this. Like, ooh, yes, so much more fun. I like that it ties back into this shape. So great. Let's outline that. What a fun logo. Truly awesome. Okay, well, I guess I will mock some more exciting versions up here and you guys will see the final thing. Let's go. All right, now we are moving on to our third and final logo for the video today, Nissan or Nissan. Nissan is another Japanese car company, and they have, in my opinion, one of the worst car logos. I've never liked the Nissan logo. It has just always like irked me to my core. So yeah, I have this little chart of Nissan's logo history. I don't really know that much about Nissan in general, so I was reading up a little bit on it. We'll talk about them more in a second, but looking at like their logo history is very interesting. It feels like kind of like a candy brand to me, and then it starts like this very like, it feels like 90s Nestle. That's what that's giving me. This looks like a street sign, gas station. Starting to feel like a car, back to a gas station, and then ugly. I don't like that at all. And then this is their new logo. To me, it feels like they're trying to be Tesla, and I hate Tesla. So by default, I don't really like anything that reminds me of Tesla. So I know Nissan is a company that has kind of like prided itself, is that the right tense, whatever, on kind of being one of the front runners in having electric vehicles. They have had the Nissan Leaf for a very long time, which is an all electric vehicle. And and that's something that they take a lot of pride in. And I was reading about like the company's name history. It originated in the 1930s as an abbreviation used on the Tokyo stock market for Nippon Sangyo. In 1930, it merged with Tabata Automobile Parts, blah, blah, blah. So it merged and it became Nissan. So I'm assuming that was the N-I and S-A-N. So that's, I guess, where the name Nissan came from. And they build trucks, planes, and engines for the Japanese military. So Nissan has become a leader in safety technology, fuel-efficient powertrains, as well as alternatively powered vehicles such as the Leaf. So there we go. They pride themselves on being kind of in that more like future forward electronic vehicle, or I guess alternatively powered vehicles. So that is something that I do want to tie into the logo, are some of these more natural elements that feel more organic. My criticism of this is it feels a little too techy to me, and I feel like it just starts to encroach a little bit on Tesla's branding. And I know that's something that Tesla also like focuses very heavily on with their branding, is the kind of like futuristic style, but I don't really feel like that's exactly who Nissan is. I feel like they are more so, they're future forward, but they also like, I don't know, not as like aggressive as like Tesla, if that makes any sense. I can't really explain how that feels, but anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and tell you the plan. So originally I was gonna do Subaru, and last minute I changed it to doing Nissan because I don't have any criticisms for the Subaru logo. I love it so much. So I changed it to Nissan. So this is my Nissan Sketch page, and I would really like to kind of work and make essentially my own font for the Nissan logo. I want to work with kind of like these rounded pill shapes. I think that would be really fun with these cool rounded corners. I want to tie in a leaf element in the eye of Nissan, and that's the goal. I have drawn a million of these weird S's and Z's and N's, trying to make what I want. I wanted to avoid the like super roundedness of the N, because I feel like that's a little bit too much of a cop out for me. I want to challenge myself a little bit more, so I'm gonna make essentially my own little typeface for Nissan. I'm gonna turn my snap to grid on. Yeah. So after a lot of finagling, that took me a while to get where I wanted it to go, but I realized I definitely wanted to square off some of those corners. It was feeling a little too round, I was starting to just like, you couldn't read it anymore, and I really wanted to find a way to connect those S's, or the like bottom and top piece of the S, and I just like was having the hardest time with that. I was like onto it, but you know what, I really like that I squared this off, and I adore how these S's came out. Oh my god. I think the only thing I'm not perfectly sold on is this A. Like, I want to still include a bridge in the A, because like I think without it, it looks a little weird. But like everything I've done, I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I was going to do Who was calling me? My dad is calling me. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My dad called in the middle of me wrapping up the Nissan logo, but I'm super excited and very happy about how that logo turned out. Roadblock midway, but I feel a lot better about it now once I kind of like revisited the overall vibe. And as soon as I squared off those corners, I felt 10 times better about the whole logo. Felt more like a car logo. I didn't want it to seem too abstract, something that wouldn't really translate well to actually being applied to a vehicle. So super happy with that. And wow, mwah, chef's kiss. Love it. Well, I guess I gotta do my sponsor. Guys, the sponsor for today's video is my good friends over at Squarespace. If you're new to my channel or if you've been sticking around for a long time, Squarespace is an all-in-one website building platform to help you build your online presence. Squarespace is what I have personally used to host my own graphic design portfolio over at kel.lauren.conway for the past 5 years, and over all of my years of using Squarespace, I have switched up their templates. I can't tell you how many times. They have tons of beautiful, customizable templates to choose from. You can either work with exactly with one of their templates right off the bat, or you can fully customize it to fit whatever your design needs are. One of my favorite aspects about the Squarespace templates is how beautiful the galleries are, and it's really great for adding tons of photos and tons of different PDF projects to your website and have it all scaled down to mobile perfectly, as well as looking great on a desktop. If you're a graphic designer like me and you might have work that you wish you could put in your portfolio, but you might not really be able to put it fully in your portfolio because it might not be approved work, or work that isn't out yet, or work that just never got approved with a previous client, you can add a locked page to your website and only give the person that you want to be able to see that page on your website your special password, so you can keep that page just on your website at all times. And as soon as someone needs to view some more like extended portfolio work, which is something I have, build an extended portfolio, guys, you can do that all through Squarespace by building just a locked page. And speaking of clients, another thing you can do is build clients directly through your site, which is really awesome and really saves you a lot of time. Now, for whatever you may be working on, Squarespace has you covered, and if you have any issues with their platform, of course, their customer service is there to help you out when you need it. So if you want to start building your portfolio, your online presence, whatever you're in the market for, whatever your plan may be, go head over to squarespace.com/kel.lauren, KELLEUREN, to get 10% off your first purchase. I've trusted Squarespace with my own portfolio for years, and I think you should too. It's easier than ever. It's the best time to start building your portfolio. It's a new year, new you. To start building your portfolio or your website, whatever project you are working on. So go head over to squarespace.com/kel.lauren, get 10% off your first purchase. Is there anything else? Is that all? I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I had a lot of fun working on these logos. I am not really a confident logo designer. It's not my favorite thing to do. So if you didn't like these logos, it's okay. It's not my strong suit. No hard feelings. But let me know which logo was your favorite. I'm probably torn between which one was my favorite because I'm really happy with how all of them turned out. If I had to pick, I don't know. It's like picking your favorite child now. I really like the Ford logo just because it's a script. I'm weak for custom script, but then the Honda logo is cool because it was like very retro, and I love like that could would look so nice as an emblem on a car. But then that Nissan type came out way better than I thought it would, and I absolutely adore those S's I made. So you might be seeing a typeface coming from me soon based on those S's because I really liked them, feel very inspired by them. So let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite, and if you have an idea for other logos that you would like me to design, also let me know down in the comments. I'm always interested to hear what you guys want me to work on next. Help me plan out some videos for this year. So that is all, I believe, for today's video. Thanks for sticking around. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed to my channel and you're just dropping in for the first time. Thanks for sticking around for such a long video. I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed watching the video, make sure to like it too. Share it with your friends. You know the deal. That is all I have for you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.